Oh, Thornton Township. Now, where the birds are singing, the sun is shining, it's a brand new day because we have removed the wicked witch of the Southland, right? She's gone. So everything should be on the up and up, and we shouldn't have any problems. I would like to thank Mr. Paul Roberts for sharing part of his FOIA request. And this is a credit card receipt. So let's take a look. Okay, let's start at the bottom. We have Casey Nesbitt, who's our clerk. Looks like it's in the up and up. She's spending money on things that we would expect the clerk to spend money on. Then let's go on up to Antoine Russell. Now, what is Antoine Russell's job in the township? I had to look myself. Okay, president of Democrats of Thornton Township. Thornton Township board meeting. Thornton Township Highway Commissioner. Okay. Whew, that was hard. Okay, so let's go back to this credit card. Let's go right back to this credit card. So we got Antoine Russell. And what did Antoine do? Dry cleaning. Okay. He spent taxpayer dollars, $66 on dry cleaning. Okay, I guess you gotta look sharp. Menards, $321.29. Was it something for the highway? Okay. Let's go to the next one. What else does he have? Starbucks, $7.19. Okay, we gotta pay for Top Golf in Naperville, $154.35. Chick-fil-A, $3.21. The French fries or the lemonade, $3.21. Highway Commissioner Russell, you couldn't spend your own $3. I digress. And loudly, we have Cloudways, $502.50. Now, why would he spend $502 on Cloudways? That's a website, web hosting. That's something, $500 to Cloudways. Why? Interesting. Now, I know he was supposed to be running for mayor of Burnham, but we shall see. So, yeah, this is where your taxpaying dollars are going so far. I found it interesting. Top Golf on a Friday night. Why not pay for it? You guys take care of yourself and each other. Bye. Okay, you guys, so the Chicago Tribune and the Daily Southtown, they did an article. Many are not talking about it, so we like to make sure we cover everything here. This article is a little too lengthy for your girl, so I'm going to let AI read it, okay?
Former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard released from contempt, fines in one FOIA lawsuit, village assessed in another. After several weeks of back and forth between attorneys, a Cook County judge Thursday released former Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard from contempt for repeated violations of court orders in an ongoing lawsuit. Henyard will also no longer be held accountable for fines incurred for each day she failed to produce records requested by the nonprofit Edgar County Watchdogs in early 2024, as her affidavit was judged as sufficient in proving she no longer has them. Still, Henyard or Dalton could be responsible for civil penalties or attorney fees being paid by the Edgar County Watchdogs, as they were ordered to last week in a similar case. In that lawsuit, Dalton was ordered July 17 to pay almost $16,000 in attorney's fees, reflecting costs and civil penalties for failing to provide public records also requested in early 2024. The village resisted the penalties, countering that the $10,000 requested in attorney's fees was unreasonable and the failure to produce records was based upon the actions of a few problematic officials. The village, and ultimately the taxpayers, have suffered enough under the current administration and should not be further punished by the implementation of civil penalties, attorneys wrote earlier this year in a response to the Edgar County Watchdog's petition for civil penalties and attorneys' fees. Ultimately, Cook County Judge David Atkins rejected their argument, saying the attorney's fees are reasonable in comparison to similar cases in Illinois, and he had judged a minimum of $5,000 in civil penalties to be sufficient. The contempt charge Henyard was released from Thursday came as an affidavit she signed was adjusted from the original version filed last month, which attorneys for the Edgar County Watchdog said was deficient and must be disregarded, according to their response to the document. During a court hearing held via Zoom, attorney Lauren DeValle, representing Dalton, said as the court considers potential penalties for the unfulfilled records requests, the village under its current leadership should not be held responsible. I think it's pretty clear from the record that any willful failure to respond was the fault of Ms. Henyard, DeValle said. The Edgar County Watchdog sued Dalton in February 2024 after failing to receive documents requested the month prior. The lawsuit claims the groups made two separate requests January 5, 2024, neither of which received a response from Henyard's office. Attorneys for the Edgar County Watchdog said the village helped fulfill the first request seeking copies of all credit card statements since October 1, 2023. However, they still have not received a copy of a document Henyard showed at a January public meeting while stating trustees canceled the credit card, stating the document was proof. Edward Coach Winehouse, attorney for the Edgar County Watchdogs, said as Judge Kate Moreland considers penalties in the case, he hopes she similarly holds Dalton accountable for its failure to comply with the Freedom of Information Act. They were responsible for responding, which they didn't, and now no one's there to tell us what the document is, Winehouse said. It's my belief that the court cannot allow that sort of behavior to be excused, because if that is allowed to be excused, nobody will produce FOIA documents. They'll wait until a politician leaves and say we don't remember. Moreland said the matter of covering attorneys' fees or other civil penalties will be considered at the next hearing, set for 10:30 a.m. on September 9th. This is an interesting case, because it may or may not be Dalton's fault, Moreland said during the hearing. The issue of the attorney's fees has to be put before me, and then who's responsible would be part 2. Ostevans at ChicagoTribune.com.
At the end of the day, nothing really changed, to be honest, you guys. The taxpayers are still going to be hurt regardless because of current situations and past situations. But it's important to look at both sides, and I want to shout out all the people that are still going to the meetings and still standing up for what's right. All right, you guys, until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.